Alrighty. Well, they're calling for another Colorado low, which means more moisture. Still got to get things ready, and seeding is getting pushed back more and more. But we're gonna get some stuff done in the shop, get some equipment cleaned up, get the oils changed, and that kind of stuff. But I was hoping that we'd be out in the field in about 2 weeks. We'll see with this rain. Might be dreaming, but we need some warmth and warmth to get rid of the snow and get that ground warming up. So I'm taking this tractor just for a quick little drive, warm everything up, and bring it back into the shop. We're gonna dump the oil in it. Peter's doing the same thing with the Massey, and the tractors will be ready. A little discouraging, I'm not gonna lie. And I looked at the calendar and I thought, man, we're still pretty wet. But I know we've had it. We have lots of moisture, room for moisture deep down, I think. And if we get a warm rain, maybe that'll help push the frost out and the moisture will actually disappear and whatever. There, now we'll dump the oil. Whenever we dump the oil in our equipment, the key always comes out, just to make sure that nobody... The key only goes back in once the oil's in. That way there's no accidents. That's our engine air filter. We replace all of our filters at least once a year. I got my cab filter. I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty dirty. It's up right in here. Yep. That's done. Put a new one in. There. Those two filters are done. Okay, oil should be just about drained. You can top the oil up. Place I ordered our filters from, they didn't have all the filters in, so I can do my engine oil filter and my water filter. I can do those two. I don't think they have my fuel in or my hydraulic. So we'll get done what we can. You got it warmed up?
Yeah. Does she kind of picky sometimes when it's colder outside? With speed, I couldn't get it over 14 miles an hour, or it was it's just a setting in there that just where it's just.
I have no idea. We just had that tractor in.
Like it's warm. Like it's not hot. It's
no. It should get up.
It didn't get up. But
No. Speed.
Oh, speed. Yeah. I don't know what that is. But
Maybe I'll take it for a rip and just see. Huh. Well, that's weird. moment I put my throttle up high, it kicks it out into neutral. Yeah, before I make the phone call, I'm gonna actually go back to the yard and shut it off and see whether it, some electronics, I know we've had it in the past where you just need to shut the tractor off, let it reset, and then they fix themselves. Let's hope that's the case here. And let's hope that's all it is. But I don't want to do that out on the road, so I'll put that back in the yard. Because if all of a sudden I shut it off and I don't want to go again, that would suck. Did you shut it off? Did you shut it off at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we're gonna try that.
Okay. Like it's like it doesn't go over 1500, and if you push the stick too hard, and then it revs down, right?
No, if you push the throttle forward, it kicks it into neutral.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let it shut down. Maybe it'll reset itself, and we'll see right away. Because if I put the throttle right forward, we're gonna know where they're at. Because the moment I put the throttle forward, it should go right to 2000 RPM. And it's not doing that.
Yeah. Unless something was resisting it. What?
Well, we just had this thing gone over, and this wasn't an issue before. Alright, let's go for a drive. Let's see whether I fixed the problem.
There you go.
It's already different. Don't take long to get to 30 mile an hour. I'll let you drive it in. I'll go open the door. Open her up. $2,600. 74 hours on April 20. I don't know what the date is today. What's the date today? 27th?
Yeah.
28, 22. That's some ugly writing. We rate this on all the filters, then we know. Right on. Well, I got all the filters changed that we have. And now I'm gonna take off and I'm gonna go pick up our air seeder and bring it home. It's in a shed. So snow better be done. Now we can bring it out. Hopefully there's not too much that needs to get done. I don't think there is, but hopefully there's no surprises. Bit of water left in the yard here, but the pond's full. Haven't had that in 2 years now. the tires have good enough air to get home. Check a few things. I think we should be good to go. I don't want to have any issues on the highway. Right on. Bring her home. I got my camera behind me, so when I'm going down the highway, that's what I see from behind. Well, hopefully not biocheck, but I got a camera so I can see if there's traffic coming. To prepare for impact. Hopefully that never happens, but we've had some pretty close calls. Not everybody pays attention on the highways, and sometimes we have no option, but we have to drive down the highway. So I don't like it. I don't like driving on the highway at all with equipment. It's a little nerve-wracking. So especially on these highways that we have, the highway that we run all of our equipment on, it's pretty narrow. It doesn't have a whole lot of shoulder. So yep, always got to be careful. But let's bring it home and then we can work on it there. Oh, we bought ourselves a bull. When did we buy this bull? A month ago? At a sale. And there are those that those have asked whether we're keeping Kowalski as a bull that we were planning on keeping for ourselves. That was the plan, but we bought this bull, and this bull is actually half brother to Kowalski, and we needed another bull this year. And when this came up at the sale, we went for it, and we thought he was a good looking bull. So he's halter broke, so he looks pretty good. We'll just walk him right into the barn on a halter. So yeah, Sadie, there's a spot. Just go right in the barn, and then there's it's kind of mucky back here. We couldn't drive. There we go. Come on, let's go. Come on. There's some good food in there, bud. Oh no, you're a Leafs fan? Oh.
Just just around this way? Or
He can be out here anywhere in this.
Well, we can put him, we can tie him up too if we want.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he's fine in here. We'll just close this off and yeah, he looks good. Hey? So yes, Kowalski is a shorthorn, full roan, and this is our new bull called Johnny, and like he's a half brother, and he is full red. So that's what you get with shorthorn. Sometimes you get that roan look, and sometimes you can get just red with no color. So he looks really good, and we're really wet in this corner. Holy cow! But anyway. Yeah, that looks good. Hey, well, it's nice to have the air seeder home. Get it home before things get really wet. They've now said we're supposed to get around 1.5 inches of rain this weekend, starting tomorrow. We bought that bull from Anwinder's, and they are actually out because we are doing some embryos. They're putting some of their some embryo transplants into some of our cows, and we're going to do that. We're doing that now. So we got local vet David Hamilton is out, and he is going to put those embryos into our cows that we've synced. We tried syncing them, and we put pink stickers on them so we knew exactly when they were in heat. So what do you put the red mark on there just to...
That's the side, in this case your CL is on
the left side.
the left ovary, so then I'll implant her on the left horn. If I'm not sure, I'll ultrasound the CL, but it's a good one. I can palpate it as well.
Okay. Sorry, you said that on sometimes they're the left side or the right side.
It's either right or left ovary.
Oh, and
so
you can tell which side.
Yes, by palpation, or I can ultrasound it just to be sure. This case, it's basically a bump on the ovary where they release.
Oh, okay. Did you get that?
Do you want to squeeze it all on them ever?
No, no, it's fine. So if I'm in the right spot, there's a vacuum there and it sucks, and so then
Oh yeah.
that means I'm just freezing them so they don't strain when I implant.
Gotcha.
I don't want to work.
So you put freezing in the tail. So yeah, I got you.
It's an epidural so that they don't strain.
Okay.
So the embryo is thawed and it's labeled. It's in a straw inside this Kasu gun.
So the embryo doesn't really take up any more space than when you do a AI for.
Yeah, it's in a quarter. It's in a quarter cc straw.
Okay.
So it's
Which day was this girl in need?
The 21st in the afternoon.
so that makes her 0. Yep. So I just have to pass through the cervix and then go up the horn. In this case, on the left horn, because the CL's on the left ovary. Her embryo, her egg will be sitting there, but it was never fertilized, so she wasn't bred a week ago. So we're going to put a 7-day-old embryo in there, and that should, as long as it grows, she'll think it's her own, and she won't come in heat in 2 weeks. So it is a game of deception. So we go high up the horn as far as I can go.
And that's
where,
all on feel for you with your right hand of knowing
yeah.
left, right, and all.
And then that just, so now the embryo is high up in the horn, and that's where it would be if we're flushing her today. So we put it kind of back where it should be. And
So when you're flushing, you're doing the opposite. You're taking that egg out.
then we use a special cap. We use a bunch of fluid to flush the embryos out. So, get you to hold the tail.
So how's the hand doing?
Good.
I hear you had an incident.
I got it. I was flushing it. It was a bad weather. We were doing it in a wash rack, and this cow went to back up, and she kind of hit the door after we finished, and she just slammed it against the wall, and my finger was caught in there. It was a fairly significant cut. But,
So did you need stitches and stuff?
yeah.
Or did you just give yourself stitches right on the spot?
Oh, my daughter did it actually. She's a veterinarian, so I just kind of cowboyed up and flushed a cow and implanted about 45 cows, and then I got home at 9:30, x-rayed it. I knew it wasn't broken, and then we just sewed it up. It's about 2.5 weeks now. It's stitches are out.
Is she right, David?
She's right, yeah. It's doing fine. I'm just glad that it wasn't broken. Strange as it may sound, I always do it with this arm, and it'd be like writing with your left hand. I'm just not as skilled. It's kind of something that
I thought they said that when it came to this. Are you a righty or a lefty?
I'm right-handed.
Because is it not something that I heard somebody say that if you're right-handed, you actually have better feel with your left, or if you're a right-hand or left-handed, you have better feel with your right. Obviously not for you, because
it's kind of what you get used to. To be perfectly honest, if you're AIing and that, they often tell you to go with your left hand.
Yeah.
But I've always done it this way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's a lot of manipulations, and I think your brain is trained a bit better for your dominant hand.
Yep.
But not that I couldn't do it, but I'd have to be like starting over.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
So is there any particular reason why it's just left or right, or
just there's communication between the CL and the embryo? So obviously if they've released the embryo on the left side, the embryo is always going to be on the left horn. So there is some communication between the embryo and the ovary. So if you put it in the other horn, your pregnancy rate wouldn't go to 0, but it would definitely be lower.
Can they have it on both sides?
Yes, if they twin.
No, so if you saw it on both sides,
then I just picked my favorite side. Yeah, doesn't matter. But some cows with twin, they double ovulate. So they'll have they double ovulate, they'll have a CL. Could be 2 on one side or 1 on each side.
Gotcha.
Easy, girl.
So you got anybody else for today, or is this is the last one? So how many do you typically try to do? I guess it all depends on how many different farms you got to go to, but
yeah, it depends. It depends a lot on the driving and that. So I think the most I've done in one day is about 100 implants, but that's a long day.
Oh, no doubt. I would imagine your arm would be sore by the end of the day.
It's not too bad.
You get used to it.
It does it all the time, so.
Yeah.
And they're frozen, so that helps. I'm not working against contractions as much.
Oh, yep.
In the days, like, they started freezing embryos, I'd say in about early 80s. But before that, they would have these, when the exotic boom first happened, they'd flush cows and they'd maybe get 20 embryos. They couldn't freeze them. And they'd just scramble for recips. Phone the neighbors who had a cow in heat a week ago. And they sometimes did go to, a few days out. And they didn't go to 0, but it wasn't quite as good.
Yep.
But it was, one guy was telling me the story, and he said, the barn cat ran in front of us, we just put an embryo in her. You get these really valuable embryos, and you don't have any recips. It's kind of frustrating because they couldn't freeze them or anything.
Your last one.
Yeah, I thought we were cutting the
See you later.
shoot and buying it from the neighbors, that alley, because the
Come on, keep one.
Well, when she was there,
Yep. Tomorrow Johnny's gonna get put to work.
no,
we gotta sort all of our cows to put them into the right pens, and then we can let our bulls out now because we've got our embryo stuff done. So we're not actually gonna let the bulls out into this pen, and that's where the embryo and the AI ones are. Not gonna let them out, but in those other two pens we gotta sort who's supposed to be where, and then we'll let our bulls out so that they can get into breeding. So yeah, embryos are done. That was Dave Hamilton from Morden Vet Clinic who did that. He did an awesome job. The embryos come from Anwenders. They're from the Weyburn area in Saskatchewan, and they are wanting to put some embryos, embryo transplant into some of our cows, just in case something with dry summer, and having some of their animals in on another farm and some other. We came up with a deal, and it should work for. We're hoping it works out good for both of us, and we'll see how many embryos catch. So yeah, that's it. It's a sunny day. It's Thursday, and hopefully the rain doesn't come and that the sunshine does, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned a few things about embryos, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch.